In my previous video, I talked about the difficulty I Am Legend 2 is going to have satisfying the audience, given it will be retconning the first film's theatrical cut ending, and making the alternate ending, where Robert Neville survives, canon instead. Check that video out if you're interested. But to summarise the relevant part, I explained that the theatrical cut ending, where Robert Neville sacrifices himself to protect the KV cure he's discovered, was the result of test audiences not liking the alternate ending, or original ending, where none of that happens. I've always preferred the theatrical cut ending too, but while researching for my last video, I watched the alternate ending several times, and it started to grow on me, making me wonder if maybe it is the better ending after all. After more thought, I've come to the conclusion that it should be better in theory, but in practice it isn't. And that's due to a mix of factors which I'll explain. Okay, so why the alternate cut doesn't satisfy audiences? So the alternate cut where Robert Neville survives is less popular. Not only did test audiences reject it, but take this for what it's worth, anecdotally, people seem to prefer the theatrical cut ending as well. As already mentioned, on paper the alternate ending seems better, more interesting, more thoughtful, arriving at an appropriate destination to end the film's thematic journey up to that point. This ending communicates that the Darkseekers are worthy of respect and should be left alone, allowed to coexist with, or perhaps even supplant humanity as a new species fulfilling a new stage of human evolution, like butterflies transforming from caterpillars. Although this type of ending goes against what should be the natural bias of the audience, since we have an interest in not being supplanted by a new species, it certainly can work well. Mild spoiler alert for The Girl with All the Gifts, but that film has a similar message, revealed at the end in an effective way, feeling subversive and thought-provoking. This feeling is what the original I Am Legend ending should be evoking in the audience, but I don't think it manages to achieve it very effectively for multiple reasons. The first is quite simply the execution. Up to that point in the film, although there is subtext and symbolism present for those looking for it, it's fairly subtle, and the film has a generally more emotional, raw vibe than an intellectual one. So when the ending gets a bit more cerebral, it clashes with the ride we've been taken on up to that point. And the way the scene plays out kills the rhythm and pace of the film. It feels like, as the story is rapidly and swiftly accelerating to an explosive climax, it's suddenly brought to a screeching halt before getting there, not taking us quite far enough to satisfy. The next issue is the way in which all that leads up to the ending is handled. If the rest of the film had given more attention to the aforementioned issues and themes of group sovereignty, etc., more development of them, and of the story generally, the original ending might have worked better. But many prior events in the film possibly caused the original ending not to emotionally connect with many of us. The argument made in this ending for the sovereignty of the Darkseekers and allowance for them to coexist with uninfected humans doesn't seem convincing, because the Darkseekers are a threat to uninfected humans. They kill and feed on them. So obviously, the two groups can't coexist. Humanity needs to find a KV cure for their own protection. The final issue I've identified with the original ending is that it has a denouement which is too weak and rushed to support the strange, subversive climax. The climax gives a fairly radical revelation, yet the film ends almost immediately afterwards, without giving space to let the implications sink in. This makes the ending feel abrupt and unsatisfying, where a longer, richer denouement might have allowed more audience members to process and accept the new perspective shown to them. So let's talk about why the theatrical cut does satisfy audiences. In contrast to all I've mentioned, the theatrical cut of I Am Legend seems to resonate more with audiences for, in my opinion, the following reasons. This ending is overall more emotionally impactful and cathartic. It's punchy and emotionally raw, maintaining the rhythm, pace, and intensity of the rest of the film, giving us a sense of bittersweet triumph and closure, as Robert Neville has succeeded in saving the world. It's sad, yet heroic and epic, whereas the other ending feels a bit anticlimactic the first time you watch it. In conclusion, while it always seems like a shame to let the corporate process compromise the artistic intent of a filmmaker, and some people actually favour the original ending of I Am Legend, overall, it was probably the right move to change it. While the original ending's message is interesting, the execution means it just doesn't land as it should. It's a bit odd that the film's foreshadowing about the Darkseekers being more than just mindless monsters amounts to nothing in the theatrical cut, and so I think some combination of the two endings might have been worth attempting. But despite that flaw, the theatrical cut still provides the kind of emotion that the alternate cut just doesn't manage. Anyway, what do you think? Do you agree with what I've said here? Or do you prefer I Am Legend's original ending? Let me know in the comments below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, see you next time.